Peace. Good morning. Or good afternoon. Oh my God, it's 12 o'clock. Peace. Peace, everybody. How y'all doing? Whew. Hope y'all well today. It's Thursday. I have to say the days of the week, y'all, because I've been in the house since last March. I still haven't really come out of this whole quarantine situation. You know, I go places when I have to, but I'm really in the house. And so I really don't be knowing what day of the week it is. They all feel the same. It's very weird. But I wanted to hop on and talk about diet culture and how when I stopped adhering to it over the last couple of years, how it's really changed my perspective around my body and helped me access different ways of being, different ideals that have been more healthy for me. Hi, Adudu TV. Have been more healthy for me and have helped me out. And the first thing that one day so last year I went through I was doing a lot of cleanses and I was changing my diet over. Peace. I was changing my diet over from regular to vegetarian, and it went well. I maintained it until about, I want to say March of this year. So I started about March of last year, and I was vegetarian, didn't eat meat, didn't do any of that. No, I'm not working out today, Cocky Wayne. I'm talking about diet culture. And it was good. It felt great. But the mindset that I was doing it from was because we were in COVID and I was trying to make sure that my body stayed in as healthy as it could be, considering what was happening around us and how people were getting sick. And I knew that a healthy immune system helps fight off a lot of things. I know it's not the only thing you need, but it does help. So that's what I was trying to beef up my immune system and help myself, from that situation. And plus I live with an autoimmune disease, so I had to do what I had to do. Around March of this year, I decided to go back to pescatarian because I just didn't have the energy I needed on a vegetarian diet. My body just really needed fish. So I vacillate between vegetarian and pescatarian now. The main reason I wanted to talk about diet culture is because it's so interesting how easy it is to get caught up in using examples of yourself against old examples of yourself in order to prove that you are making a marked improvement on your body. The one thing I learned as I delve deeper into my yoga journey is that my body does not like pain in a certain kind of way. There's a lot of pain association with certain exercises, and so yoga really has helped me build a practice that it can have some discomfort, but you should not be in pain when you're practicing yoga. That's helped me stretch myself and build my strength up in a slower process. And I know that we are constantly, being shown how people are losing weight and things like that. And so I really made an effort in the last 2 years to not do that. So that's why you don't see any of that on my page, like comparisons of the old me to the new me, or talking about weight gain versus weight loss. Because I just feel like that conversation comes from a space for for me, I can't say what it is. That conversation comes from a space of trying to attain something that I don't have to try to attain. Peace, y'all. And I didn't want to be like my page to be like that anymore. I want my page to thank you. I want my page to exemplify that I'm happy where I'm currently at. And if I lose 5 pounds or 3 inches, that's great, but it doesn't have to be celebrated every 5 seconds like I see on a lot of social media pages. And it's easy when you start your yoga practice or your health practice to get caught up in that hype, like to constantly be comparing yourself against your old self and showing, like trying to prove to other people that what you're doing is working or what you're doing is having an impact. But the impact that I realized that was more important for me and for my yoga practice was the actual mental and spiritual impact, which is something that I cannot display in pictures. The person that I am is not the same person that came to the mat in 2013 and started this yoga practice. That person was purely superficial, only cared about looking a certain way, and wanted so much to maintain this body image that the world said was acceptable. As I've grown in my yoga practice and I've had to go through a pregnancy while practicing yoga and come out of that pregnancy and again re-engaging my body in a different way, in a loving way, in a healing way. And I just wanted to share that because I know that a lot of people ask me all the time, do you lose weight when you do yoga? How can you, or say, oh, it's nice to see someone your size doing yoga. And it's like, I just want to get people to wrap their head around the idea that there is no size in yoga. The issue is the mindset that people come to yoga with. People come to the yoga with this mindset like it's an exercise that's supposed to help you lose weight when it's actually a spiritual practice. The asanas are only 1/8 of the yoga practice. When I am meditating, when I am abstaining from judgment, when I am being a person that is living to my highest and greatest good, when I am not being harmful to others, that is all yoga. There are 8 limbs of yoga. The meditation, the asana practice is what I share a lot on my page because it's what people are attached to in this Western society. It's what we understand because we are a very what it looks like based society, but it is not the main part of yoga. I get so much more benefits from yoga than having a tight body or being able to do tricks with my body. And it takes time to understand that. And it doesn't matter if you come to yoga like I did in 2013 with, I want to be more flexible. I want to be more this. If your true intention is to embody yoga, you will. Your mindset will shift. Your heart will shift. Because mine has a lot. That's why my page doesn't look like it looked in 2013, 2014, 2015, because that person no longer exists. Thanks to yoga, my mindset has healed so much. There is no competition in me to compete against my former self. I have no need to do that. That self was beautiful. Just like this self is beautiful. There is no separation between me and that person. So there's no need to compare. The only reason we are constantly showing comparisons of ourselves and comparing ourselves to other people in the world is because we feel and see a separation from ourselves and others. In a yoga practice, you learn that there is no separation, that we are all one. And that's the main thing that I want to impart when I'm teaching anything that is yoga based and when I'm sharing my practice. And that's why I'm not pressed like running 16 miles a day, starving myself, on diets, doing all of that stuff to lose this 15 pounds that's going to come off naturally. It will come off naturally when it's time. If it's supposed to come off. Because there is no competition. There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to be. I'm here now. And now it's great. Now it's beautiful. Now it's amazing. And that's what I talk about a lot, like embodying self-love. We come to our self-love practices, and yoga is a part of my self-love practice. We come to our self-love practices with goals that we want to reach instead of embodying who and all of what we are in the moment. And that's why it feels so impossible to attain love for yourself. Because you're so busy trying to get somewhere that you're not. You can't have a future that you're not grateful for in the present. Like, you know what I mean? You can't create something more when you're not present enough to be grateful for what you have now. This is what yoga has given me. So when people say, are you gonna, how do you practice in your body? I practice in my body. This body allows me to do everything that I want it to do. And on days when it doesn't allow me to do those things, I don't do them. One day I can do a split. The next day I might not can do a split. If my body says no, I listen to my body. I don't push myself to do things that I don't need to do. And a lot of that, honestly, I've realized in my meditation practice that as a Black person who comes from, is a descendant of enslaved people in America, in this country, a lot of our bodies, our ancestors' bodies were forced to do things that they didn't want to do. And why do we continue to do that with this diet and exercise culture? We continue to force ourselves to show up in miraculous ways that honestly build more trauma in our bodies. I know it was building more trauma in my body. It wasn't helping me to constantly be comparing myself or forcing myself to do exercises that my body just did not feel good in. And I know a lot of women are on this app constantly sharing their journeys and, their fitness journeys. And it feels like, everybody should be on that wavelength. And that's fine for them. But this page is not about that. This is not about a super Black woman Negro. No, that's not what I am. I do what I can when I can, and when my body says that it cannot do it, y'all don't get a video from me. Y'all don't get a picture from me. I do my best to practice every day. And some days my body says no, and I don't. I listen to my body. That's self-love. That's self-care. All the things that we're always talking about in the community that we need, that Black women need, how tired Black women are, how they're tired of being strong, how they're tired of being forced to carry the weight of the community in a certain kind of way, but we are not allowing ourselves to not do that. We don't sit down and allow our bodies to rest. Because why? Because you feel like it won't get done? Then it won't get done. It won't get done, sis. It's not even worth it to, to sacrifice yourself in that way. If you're planning on it, I think it was Pitbull said, we here for a good time, not a long time. Enjoy your life. Stop creating suffering by trying to keep up with a past you or a future you. Neither one of those things exist, at least not now. And I know a lot of people will say, oh, that's what's wrong with the Black community. We don't plan for the future. I don't believe that. I don't believe we don't plan for the future. Maybe it doesn't look the way that European standards dictate that it look. And that's another whole conversation that we get to really look at how colonized our lens is and how we compare ourselves to our white counterparts and have to keep up with them in so many ways, financially, familiarly, everything. when we have such a different way of being than them. We are different. At the base, we may want the same things, good life, family, and all that stuff, but we have a different way of getting it done. And so we shouldn't keep ourselves to those standards. They're not our actual standards. I just wanted to hop on and talk about that because if I get one more inbox about does yoga help me lose weight? Yes. The weight of thinking you need to lose weight. The weight of thinking you're supposed to look like you did when you was 25 and you're 50. The weight of thinking that some man is going to love you because you're 15 pounds less than you were 2 weeks ago. Yeah, that's the weight that's going to help you lose. So, if y'all don't have no questions, let me check. Because that's all I just wanted to talk real quick. I'm trying to make my lives real quick because I don't think a lot of what I have to say is, that hard to grasp. So I will not be spending hours on Instagram talking anymore because I got stuff to do. I got 3 kids and I run a business. Oh, speaking of that, y'all know I make crystal jewelry. If you want something, it's in my shop. I have to say it as a business owner. Thank you. I appreciate your kindness. And if you are in your body and you want to learn how to do yoga in the body you're in, I do one-on-one sessions. They are $15 for 45 minutes on Zoom or even, Zoom is my preferred method. So I thank you guys for listening, and I hope y'all have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Thursday, and that the rest of your week, which is not much left, goes well. All right, I'll talk to y'all later.